Oh, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you for joining us here today. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about feelings and emotions and things that are going on in our individual little worlds. Now, we're all in this lockdown thing, and people are, getting online, they're doing different things. And one thing we keep hearing about, and I'm sure you've heard about this too, maybe it's in your own family. So listen up, because this could be really important for you. Because in this time of isolation, we tend to get depressed if we're not seeing family, friends, and all the things like that overcome with us and everything else. So if you're in that predicament, or if you're in that feeling of feeling depressed and you don't know how to overcome it, or more importantly, as an adult, you can kind of get the gist on, I don't need medication for this. This is just something that's happening. It's going to go away. I just need to get myself occupied with doing other things. I just need to do something different. Or maybe I can just go out in my backyard. Nobody's going to see me back there. Just go back, hang out back there. Or maybe you live in an apartment and maybe you can go out into the courtyard as long as you're whatever feet they want us to be apart from each other, which that's another story. But right now we're going to talk about our preteens. This is a group that we tend to overlook. Hold on. Because they're right in the middle. They're not little children, and they're not teenagers. They're preteens. This is a very critical age in our teens. They're preteens, I believe. Teens. Okay. So one thing I'm hearing is this age group, particularly the preteens, they're getting depressed. They're getting very upset. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're getting manic. They're getting crazy because they don't know how to deal with this isolation. And a lot of it is because they don't know how to associate or how to identify themselves without their peer group, without their friends, without people telling them how to act, how to be, how to walk, who to mimic, who to be. So this is a very critical time for our preteens. And a lot of them are getting very depressed. I've heard in the past few days of several preteens who have unfortunately committed suicide in their homes because of this depression. And we don't want that to happen. We want to get ahead of this, and we want to take hold of, if you have preteens, if you maybe even just, teenagers that are right there and they don't know how to identify themselves without the peer group. Some things you can do to help them without medication, because a lot of the medication that the big pharma has put out will, as you know, cause a lot of different side effects, which can include suicide. So I like to deter from anything like that, any kind of a medication, because your body is made to heal itself along with your being yourself. So one thing I'm going to tell you to do, and this will help, is you have to go to the grocery to get some food unless you're having it delivered, which either way you're doing it. But if you can find your way to maybe go to a grocery, maybe if you go to an Albertsons or a Walmart or whatever store is in your town, if you can set up, maybe we're going to call it a meeting place, because you can go into a grocery store and keep a distance, so to speak, and shop. If you're going to get some groceries, get with, your friend, your teens, preteens, friend, your mothers, fathers, whoever is taking care of them, and set up a meeting date. Say, okay, well, we need to get some groceries. How about you? Why don't we take the kids, let them get together, and kids can walk around a store be with each other and talk and laugh and, have camaraderie. That is a great thing to do. And no one's going to say anything about some teenagers walking around. So it's going to be fine. So, and I've seen this in a store. It was actually a Walmart here last week. So that's where I got the idea for that. So look at that and look at what your kids are doing. Another thing is we have the ability to do video chats, right? So give your kids screen time and set them up on a stream. And you can set up a movie stream, and they could have all the friends get together and everybody get on this stream, and everybody could laugh and talk and, just spend a little bit of time. They don't have to spend like all day or anything, a couple hours here or there, break it up during the day. Get people together, get them out of their depression zone. Okay? That will work. Some other things that will help is you may or may not know how color affects our neural system. Color is a huge effect on our neural system. So another thing that will help with depression, and you can do this too yourselves, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, whoever is taking care of everybody, give the kids this too. It's oranges and pineapples, and it's not the food. So I'm just using these as a great example because these work. So it's the colors, the orange and yellow. What orange and yellow does is it's a trigger in the neural system of our brains, and it triggers to alleviate depression. Exactly. Orange and yellow attracts happiness. It attracts calm. It attracts peace. It attracts what is the right word I'm looking for? Dang, anyone can think of the right word I'm looking for to attract? My brain just went bing. But orange and yellow, it attracts peace and calm, happiness. If you just look at orange and yellow, but it's better if you're eating it, maybe even drinking it, but you'd have to have 2 cups of something orange and something yellow. But the oranges and the pineapple is the best thing I could think of to do this. Because the colors, you put them in a bowl, put them on a plate, and you're eating them, boom. It takes about 72 hours for all this to go into play, or sooner, depending on the person. Another one is green. Green is a great color to combat negative emotions. So you can eat green apples, you can drink, put it in a blender, make a smoothie, make a slushy, slurpee, whatever you want to call them they have these days. Do that, and it's green, and do this every day. You could even do spinach in a smoothie, grapes, anything like that. The color will ignite and just grow and be happy. Also, you can go with red, cherries, apples, radishes, things like that, and put them, blend them, chop them, eat them. But red promotes love and happiness. It can also promote and bring towards the neural system of anger. If you heard someone say you're fired up and yeah. So, but use it as a love and happy and peace and calm. So they're colors, and the colors do affect your neural system. When you look at the right colors, you will change what you're doing. And what these are is they're the chakras we have in our body. Our body has our systems of chakra, 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 chakra. You can't see me going down. But we have 7 chakras coming down our frame. And when the chakras get blocked or depressed, so to speak, then you're going to find you will have unruly thoughts, you will have depression sinks in, and you don't think right, you don't feel right, so you act irrational. Or you go into a shell. You don't want to talk to anyone, you don't want to eat, whatever it is. So if you suffer from depression, then you know exactly where I'm going at with this. Another one is sunshine. Yes, sunshine will help with depression. Go out, backyard, anywhere. As you're going to the grocery, stand in the parking lot. Just look up and get the sunshine. Let it hit your face. Let it soak in to your body. Sunshine is very healing, and it is a neural trigger in the neural system. And this is part of neuroscience, and it's part of mastering your chakras, it's part of mastering your body, mastering your emotions. Emotions are very critical in this time that we're in isolation, and I don't know what's going to happen. Some of you may know more than I do about that. I just know that I heard that is a possibility it's going to last for 6 more months. I hope I'm wrong on that prediction that I heard, but it's a possibility. So get your kids. Our kids are our future. This is who we have to protect. We have to protect our children. And being a parent, you're going to protect them any way you can anyway. So pass this on to anyone that you know that maybe has children that maybe they're not acting great. They're not acting right. They're depressed or sad. Maybe they're even the preteens that don't talk about anything because they shut you out. They close their bedroom door. They don't want to talk. They shut you out. They don't want to do anything. That's okay. That's okay too, but you want to get them out and about. So get them out and about. Take them with you to the grocery. That's probably the only place you can go. You can go to get food if you do an order and then pick up. Get out of the car, stand there, and get some sunshine. It's not going to hurt anything. And regardless, this is just a flu. Our immune system is getting over it. Our immune system is learning how to battle this. The more we get exposed to it, the faster our immune systems will combat it. In the meantime, on that little cliff note, is families stay healthy. Take your children, take them outside, take them inside, do video chats, do screen times with their friends and their peer groups. And you could set it up, and I know Facebook has a new portal there. I'm not sure. I don't have it set up on mine because I have Zoom, so I can just bring people onto a Zoom and it's talk. So, but I know they have a portal. I'm not sure if it's costing anything or not, but you might want to look into that. But anyway, you have even just a FaceTime on the phone, on a tablet or a laptop would probably, or a computer would probably be better because they could see more of the person, and they could even do little dances. They could do stuff kids do, whatever they do. So look at that and be, oh, I want to say a word and I can't. It's right there on the tip of my head. Oh my gosh. Counterproductive? Counteractive? Yeah. So battle it before it happens. Don't let your kids get to the point where they feel like life's not worth living because they are depressed because they don't have their friends, they don't have their peer group. And this is also a good time, guys, to help our kids to learn that they don't have to have someone around them to validate them. Maybe books. Get them to read books. If you have books around the house, get them to start reading. That is a really good way to lose your mind in a story. It's an excellent way to lose your mind in a story. That's just another suggestion, but these are surefire ways that do help to battle the depression, especially, they will work for adults also, but especially for our preteens is where I'm targeting today, because I don't like hearing that another kid has committed suicide because they got depressed, because they couldn't see their friends, or because they didn't know what to do, because they didn't have anyone, their peer group to talk to. Or I don't like hearing that, and I'm sure you do not either. So do this. Yeah, like I said, it takes about 72 hours or sooner, depending on the person. Drink the green drinks. Drink whatever you can smoothie up and do. It's great. Be counteractive. Start doing this before you see the signs of depression in your kids. And for some of them, it's been a couple months and they're starting to feel the pressure. And a lot of it too is look at the kids that are graduating that don't get to have a graduation. They don't get to walk the walk. I have a granddaughter who is graduating this year, high school, and she doesn't get to walk the walk, and she's a little depressed about that. So we talked and worked her through that, but it's hard. You go that long, you've worked that hard, and you don't get to walk the walk. You don't get to strut your stuff, so to speak. So I'm hoping that when this is over, they will do something for all these kids across the world who are at that point in their lives where they're ready to go to the next step. But look at the preteens right now, if you would, and let's take a look at what they're doing and look at what they're not doing. Look at their actions, look at their reactions. Get them involved, get them laughing, and just keep letting them know, honey, you don't have to have someone to validate who you are. You are great. You are an amazing person. And instead of saying anything like, well, what did you forget? Say, what did you remember today? What did you remember to do? What did you remember? Don't say, what did you forget? That just brings in the negative. But if you say, what did you remember? And if they forget something and I got to go get my whatever before you go to the town, and say, well, what did you remember? And I remembered I needed to get this. And they'll see that enlightens and heightens the neural system. And that's what this is about. It's about taking care of our kids and enlightening the neural system where we can give value to the people. Okay? Please like, share, and subscribe and get this video out there. Please, everyone out there, share this video. Get these tips to people that really need this help. Okay? I look forward to hearing your comments, suggestions, and anything else you have going on. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I will have a chat with you later. Okay, like, share, and subscribe. Okay, bye-bye.